Hello, everyone. My name is Mr. Sanders, and I'll be teaching you or your child chemistry this semester. And I just want to introduce you to some of the features that I use online that you can access if you're sick or if you're away. The first is going to be my website. So the easiest way to find my website is to Google Mr. Sanders LCCVI. And if you do that, you'll see my site here with all kinds of different links. And if we click on that, we can see here that we've got my Mr. Sanders website and some tabs that run along there. These are the courses that I'll be teaching spring 2016. These are the courses that I'm just finishing teaching fall 2015. And here's a page that I use for a supply teacher if I'm away. I also coach the badminton team, so there's a tab for that. And here is a page that you can use if you want to contact me or send me some information. So going back to the original site, some information that you can find here as well. I have a YouTube channel. There's a link to that. That's where these videos are put. I have a Twitter feed, which I put information maybe on snow days and things like that, just to keep people up to speed. And also down here, there is a calendar which gets assignments and tests posted depending on what your class is. All right. Now that's my general site. To be more specific, let's go to one of the specific course sites, and this is where the good information is. So I will use my my 3U class that I have 2 sections of this particular semester, and I can show you how that works. So this link brings me to the SCH3 You page, and I have 2 sections, 2 and 3, and so this is the site where I'm going to put information for things like that. Again, my Twitter feed is on it, and again, I have a calendar, but this time I put the calendar in more of an agenda view, and you can see at the end of this semester, we've got some labs due, a test, and the exam is coming up. All right. On the right-hand side here, you can see here I've got a notice board where sometimes I type some information. But now that I use Google Classroom, a lot of information goes on Google Classroom. This is just a countdown for various things like March break, et cetera, et cetera. All right. So looking at the tabs on this particular page, the first one is the course statement. Right, and this is the document that that the students can access that states, what type of information is being taught in the course, along with the expectations of the course and other good things like that. So it's just a document here that I've linked in. It talks about what the course is, the description of the course, what units we will be learning, how the mark breakdown is depending on the type of question, how the term work is assessed with tests and quizzes and labs and assignments, and then ultimately how the exam is assessed. And in my classes, the exams are always 30% with the term work 70%. All right. Again, more information about the way the report cards work and the information you're finding on the report cards. Information concerning on how important it is to be in the class, and also more information on expectations if you miss classes or tests. All right. At the very bottom of this page is a little form that I ask parents to fill out so that it states that you have read that course statement and you understand the expectations. Also, it would be nice if you could send me your email address, because then we can communicate if I'm talking to the parents with each other via email. Okay, so the next important page on this particular site is called the Day's Work and Homework page. And on this page, there is a table that contains the date in which the lesson was done, what unit it's in, the name of the lesson, what we tried to accomplish during that lesson. And now here are the more important parts of this particular page. There is a link to the PowerPoint that I gave and a link to a video that I've made that is on this lesson. And so if the student is away for a day, they can always get caught up by watching the video. And also, if there's any handouts for that day to be completed, this is a link to the handouts. This is the homework and expectations from the homework, all right? So this tells the student exactly what we did on that particular day. I'm trying to create these quick check questions, kind of a form to see if you understood the day's work, but that is a work in progress, all right? The flip the classroom page. Sometimes I will assign students to watch a video, the lesson screencast, at home, and then they will come to class that day prepared with the lesson done, and then we can work on homework problems, and I can then help your student with the homework. Because in chemistry, many parents do not have chemical backgrounds and therefore cannot necessarily help their students with their homework at home. So if we flip the lesson where the student watches the lesson video at home and comes prepared to work during the class, then I can help the students with any questions or concerns they have on the homework. This flipped lesson method is not used for all lessons, but it's used once in a while where the lesson the lesson is conducive for that type of a thing. All right. So that's the flipped work page. All right, or the flipped lesson page. Google Classroom is a resource that I use. All right, to communicate with students. It's a fairly new thing, and I will be telling your students, or telling the students, or you guys, I guess if I'm talking to the students, how we're going to use Google Classroom, and that's where a lot of information will be translated. Assignments will go on Google Classroom, and that's how you're going to hand things in. We'll talk more about that. Reference materials. Reference materials contain things like periodic tables, data tables that we use in various classes. These can be downloaded and printed so that you can have a periodic table in order to work through the material of the course. Course content page is simply linked to all of these things that I do, handouts, notes. There's even solutions to questions that I do so that you can check your own work. So here you can see we've got some lab equipment that we're going to be testing, and you can see there I've put the answers to that lab equipment in that position. All right, so you can check that type of stuff out. So another very important page is the mark update page, and you can see I've got two of them, section 2 and section 3, because I have two classes, and I will be uploading marks that will appear down here. They will come in 3 files. One will be on tests and quizzes. The other will be on the labs and assignments. And the third will be an all document, which contains a combination of the tests and quizzes and labs and assignments, which is what your overall mark for the class will be at that point in time. So when I do a test, I will put a mark update up, and you will be given a code that determines what your identity is, and you'll be able to see your mark on that page using an anonymous code. All right? Student information form, this is more of a concern for the students and not necessarily for the parents. This is something that I have them do at the beginning of the class so that I know whether they've got a part-time job or whether they're going to be busy doing various things. It just gives me a heads up on how busy their life is and how I can accommodate them and help them to succeed. Again, I've got another link to the contact Mr. Sanders form. And again, if you want to contact me, you can fill in your name or student's name, give me your email so I can reply, some information on what it's concerned to, what period it's concerning, and then you can leave me your message and I will get that information. All right? So there's a quick run through of the way my website works. So using the website, the students will be using them a lot, along with Google Classroom, which your students will be informed on how to use. This is how I'm going to interact, give students work that they need, get work from them that is handed back, and complete the course requirements. All right, thank you for your attention.